At the upcoming climate summit in Durban, South Africa, politicians will once again be trying to stop global warming. To be honest, chances are that the world community will again fail to agree on restricting greenhouse gas emissions. But the solution could be so simple. Carbon dioxide has to become valuable. The moment CO2 becomes an expensive resource, the problem would be solved, because then collecting it from exhaust or even extracting it from the atmosphere would be worthwhile. Scientists are already taking a small step in the right direction.
What's billowing up here doesn't actually look like an environmentally friendly material, and it's not. Polyurethane is mostly produced from petroleum. But that's going to change soon. In the future, the foam that's used to make so many objects could also help store the greenhouse gas carbon dioxide. And the synthetic wouldn't lose any of its positive properties.
All these things are made of polyurethane. The material has many everyday purposes. It can be soft and elastic or hard as well, and it's fantastic for insulating buildings.
The materials researchers in Bavaria and scientists in Aachen are aiming to use CO2 to make polyurethane. Up to now, the carbon in the plastic has come from petroleum. It's not that simple with CO2.
You could say that CO2 is a very picky molecule that only reluctantly forms compounds with other substances. To integrate it into a plastic, you have to force it in, and that takes lots of energy.
And producing that energy would release even more CO2. It's an account that will never be balanced. But the chemists are using a special substance to achieve their aims.
With this catalyst, we can convince stubborn old carbon dioxide to form bonds with other chemical compounds.
The chemists are calling it a dream reaction and say they can use it to make polyurethane in a more energy-efficient way. Together with researchers from the Technical University in Aachen, they're now trying to optimize the catalyst. The environmental benefits of the process would be to bind carbon dioxide permanently into plastic, rather than allowing it to escape into the atmosphere. And energy-saving production methods would lower fresh CO2 emissions. The process already works in the lab. If mass production works as well, there will be a third important effect.
By using carbon from carbon dioxide, we can, above all, save another valuable and limited resource, oil. On the other hand, the method would slightly reduce CO2 emissions and at the same time save a great deal of fossil fuel.
But there's still a lot of work left before the process will be ready for the market. Polyurethanes are multifaceted. Scientists are now looking for the most effective ways to make materials as diverse as soft foam for mattresses or stiff insulation panels for construction.
By 2015, we want to be able to produce the components for CO2-based polyurethane. These components will contain 10 to 40% CO2.
It will never be more than that, because when the carbon dioxide in the mixture rises to over 43%, the material becomes extremely hard, losing the characteristics that make it so attractive. Theoretically, the process could help sequester around 5 million tons of CO2 annually, as well as reducing emissions by lowering energy needs. That doesn't seem like much compared to the 30 billion tons of CO2 emitted each year by human activities.
So what is it about?
An independent group of researchers at the Technical University in Aachen is evaluating just how environmentally friendly the process is. They're analyzing every single step closely. It's a complex job that takes time, but there have already been qualitative results.
Our calculations now indicate that the process requires less energy and would therefore reduce CO2 emissions. That means it would make sense in environmental terms.
In the future, scientists are also planning to include carbon dioxide in other substances, medicines, for example. Even if the environmental benefits are still small, it's definitely a step in the right direction. And the success of the new process is raising hopes. One more good idea for a clean future.
Yeah, let's hope that idea picks up. There's plenty of CO2 around us to use. Now,